The Philadelphia 76ers have just signed Montrezl Harrell to a 2-year, $5.2 million deal. What do I think about this signing? I think it's a pretty good signing for the Sixers. When I looked at their roster, it seems like they don't really have enough size outside of Joel Embiid. Judging by the roster, there's no legit backup center for Embiid. Just I don't see it. And they don't really have any power forwards when I look at their roster. I know they signed PJ Tucker. They're probably going to play him at small forward, but I always feel PJ Tucker is undersized to play small forward. But because of his old age, you have to put him at power forward since he's not quick enough to be a small forward anymore. But I still think they're really an undersized team. I've looked at their other guys who are power forwards, and they're pretty trashy, to be honest. They have this one guy, I believe, whose name is Will Reed. And actually his name is Paul Reed. And his stats are not just appealing at all. He only averages 3 points and 1 rebound a game. Just he's been there for 2 years. So they definitely are lacking size. Montrezl Harrell helps in that department to some degree. He's always been, I would say, a good high energy player. Just he brings that to the table. He's one of those guys who gets most of his points off of fast breaks, just running out on the court, just getting dunks in transition, getting layups and putbacks, and just getting athletic buckets off of broke plays. So that's the way I've always viewed his game. He's high energy. For his career, his field goal percentage overall from the field is 62%. So that shows you how effective he is when he's allowed to run down the court and just be just a high energy type of player. I would say the biggest weakness of his game is really he has no fundamentals. He's just a guy, like I said, that just makes all his plays off of athleticism. So he doesn't have a jump shot. He has to solely rely on just dunks and putbacks and athletic plays to score. So I would say that's the biggest weakness. He's a decent rebounder. He's okay. When he gets minutes, he can get you 6 or 7 rebounds per game, which is not bad since career-wise he's only averaged 21 minutes per game. So he's a good, I would say decent rebounder. I don't want to say good rebounder, but he's a decent rebounder. So that helps. He could definitely be helpful in the 76ers system. I see that he's listed at center, so he's undersized, but he's always been kind of like a power forward to me. So who knows? 76ers might play him at center. So I think it was a good signing, especially for the deal they got him at is really a bargain. So 2 years, 5.2 million is a bargain. It also makes me laugh because I remember Montrezl Harrell a few years ago when he was coming off a great season with the Clippers. I think he averaged something like 18 points and like 7 rebounds, I believe, back then. Yeah, it was 18.6 points per game and 7.1 rebounds. This guy could have signed with the Charlotte Hornets for a big deal, but he took a lesser deal with the Lakers simply because he wanted to be in LA. That actually ended up costing him later on where he couldn't get really big deals. So I think it's also a lesson to younger players. Don't be stupid and just sign a deal for cheap because of the location. Simply because you're not guaranteed to stay in that location unless you're a franchise player, superstar, or an all-star caliber player. Just if you're not that type of player, you should always feel that they could trade you at any moment. So I just think that was stupid. He lost a lot of money by doing this. I'm sure he probably regrets it. He probably will never get to have that big payday he would have gotten had he signed that deal with the Hornets earlier. That's what I believe, to be honest. So I don't have anything else to say about the signing, but I think it was a good signing for the Sixers. They added more depth at their big man positions, which they needed. So that's all I have to say about it.